Many of the accounts from the flood zone mention the astonishing speed of the floodwaters. Today, rescue helicopters began lifting victims out, and the pace of the operation has picked up, taking advantage of badly needed breaks in the weather. The ABC's Paul Lockyer flew over Grantham this morning.
This is what's left of the hotel in Grantham. This gives you an idea of the sheer destruction of that wall of water that came down from Toowoomba. And this is replicated all up and down this street, all across this small town. This, what was a beautiful small rural town at the bottom of the slopes coming down from Toowoomba. But what happened here yesterday was that we saw that enormous flash flood through the main street of Toowoomba, carrying cars like matchbox toys and dumping them at the end of the street. People really clinging to light poles, to trees, to each other to try to save their lives. That wall of water came down here. It was up to 7 or 8 metres high by the time it reached Grantham, and it just swept through here. The destruction here is probably akin to Cyclone Tracy in Darwin. So immense has this destruction been. Not by the force of the wind, but by the force of the water. Unbelievable scenes. House after house after house, and we've heard from survivors here who were on the rooftop of that pub watching the cars float by. And over there in the railway yard, we see all the cars parked because people went to work as usual. There's a lot of cars in that car park, and they don't know quite where all the people are. They haven't accounted for them yet. We know that there are 7 dead. We know that 40 people were plucked from rooftops around here and right through the Lockyer Valley, but we know that there are still scores missing still. And all the time the rain keeps coming, and this is going to hamper the rescue and recovery efforts all day here. The disaster is far from over from Queensland. There'll be heavy rain right through southeastern Queensland today, and the focus obviously should be on the Lockyer Valley today, but by tomorrow it moves on to Brisbane itself, because there'll be high tides there holding back these floodwaters, and homes in Brisbane will be at risk. On the other side of the Great Divide, just beyond Toowoomba, there are towns like Dalby, Chinchilla and Condamine, which have been through flood crisis, recovered, but the waters are rising again. And in the days to come, it'll be the northern coast of New South Wales that comes at risk. This disaster is far from over. This is the greatest flood that has certainly hit Queensland. It may be the greatest flood that has ever hit Australia, and certainly the damage here will be the greatest flood damage here ever incurred by this nation.
And that was Paul Lockyer in Grantham.